there's no hurdle for you to get over, for you to manifest everything that you want. Because when you think that you're incompetent in some way, when you take score and you come to the conclusion that I must be doing something wrong, I'm getting it all wrong, that conclusion is followed by a negative emotion, and at every time. And that negative emotion is letting you know that your inner being is not sharing that thought with you. In fact, your inner being thinks that you're doing an amazing job. So you're really a high vibrational creature. Your vibration is naturally really high. So your job is to stop doing the things that don't allow you to have that high vibration. Your negative emotions are all good things. They're all indications about what you have in that moment going on, vibrationally speaking. You can utilize your emotions to take you right to the manifestation of everything that you are wanting. You know, the real power of all this is your ability to mold the clay of your emotions, meaning you can choose however you want to feel. And most of our friends, they don't understand the power of that. That's who you are. When you're children, you understand that. When you're the young kids, they understand that so much. And in fact, that's why they're able to maintain such high frequencies and have energy from the time that they're waking up all the way until they have to sleep. In fact, they rarely ever want to go to sleep because they're so excited for life. Whereas the older you get, the more you just can't wait for the day to end, because you're having split energy, and the split energy wanting something, and the but is killing your health, is killing all the various parts of your life. And nothing makes you more tired than resistance. Resistance makes you really tired. And it's not that resistance is a bad thing, because you came for resistance. You came for contrast. You came into this resistance environment so that you could come to new conclusions, so you could create your own vibrational reality, because you didn't want to come here and just take over someone's reality, vibrational reality from another lifetime. You wanted your own vibrational reality. You wanted your own conclusions. You are so powerful, except you don't feel powerful when you're looking for other people to hold your power over. You don't feel powerful when there are things that you've been wanting that you haven't seen, in the physical manifestation fully realized form. But your true power is your ability to feel good, to feel however you want. And some of our friends will say, well, there you go again, trying to get us to just be settle with the reality that we have, to just be okay with the reality that we have. And we're not saying that. We're saying that through all of your life, through the conclusions that you've come up to the incremental advancements or advancings of your life, the improvements, yes, better word, that you made throughout your lifetime have been put into this vibrational reality. So the financial fortune, the fame, the book that you're writing, everything, you have already created a vibrational version of all of these things. And so now your job, and it's not really your job because naturally it's happening. That's the thing about negative emotion. That's the thing about all of this, is that it's a natural process of your reality. There's no job here because it's what's happening naturally. That's why it's so interesting to come to you and talk to all of you about the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is using all of you. We just know that you can situate yourself so that you can actually receive what's in your vortex. You can receive yourself. You can allow yourself to receive from the receiving mode of your vortex. And the thing about your vortex is that you put everything in there, but you don't recognize all of it. And your vortex is a feeling. So instead of talking about the subjects, instead of being very particular and specific about this job and these clothes and this body type and this career, while it's all really fun, it's only about the emotion, because this is the best thing ever. There's no hurdle for you to get over, because your manifestations are already inevitable. They're a done deal, because the second that you wanted it, when life causes you to want it, when that contrasting moment happens, from that very contrasting moment, a rocket is launched and it goes into this vibrational reality, and your inner being keeps its eyes only on your vibrational reality, only on the improvement that you just made. So while you can stand where you are and look back, because yes, even this moment is you looking back, this past reality that you have an affinity to look towards, you can do that. You can split yourself off from, but your source will never split your energy. So you have no choice but to look through the eyes of source. You have to, that's what your emotions are all about. That's the thing, is that you really are source energy. You can't run away from being source energy. And that means that you're powerful. But powerful in what sense? Because we're not telling you to settle with reality. We're telling you that you have already created a vibrational version. And in you creating this vibrational version, now the only way to get to that vibrational version is to feel good, whether it's on the subject at hand, whether it's a subject that you're having problems with, or if it's just on any subject. Your job is to take the path of least resistance. And some of our friends, they don't take the path of least resistance, because when someone comes to your room right now and says, hey, you need to do your laundry, they want a physical they want you to do something physical. They want a physical sort of impulse or they want you to take action in that moment. They want to see action right away. They want you to react, and they want, there you go, they want an action based reaction. And we're saying you need to have a vibrational reaction, and not need is naturally who you are, because all of you are daydreamers. But the value of your daydream isn't that there's creative energy in it. It's not that, because you have already set all of your creations into motion. Your creations are living, breathing things, and now your job is to understand that. Is to understand that any work that we talk about here is not to make anything happen. You have to accept first, the premise is that you have already created everything, and everything is now there for you. And so it's not that you're doing a bad job and you're doing something wrong so it's not coming in. It's just that it's a vibrational thing. It's right there. You have to tune to it though, which means you have to feel it. But this reality is so real, it's so in your face. But this reality that you're looking at is so temporary. That's the thing. Reality is so temporary. But yet we can give all of our attention to it. And in giving our attention to it, we practice the vibration, and that this reality that's temporary, we continue to get more and more. So we call it a belief, we call it an expectation. We call it just the way my life is, but it doesn't have to be like that, because it didn't start out that way. It started out vibrationally. So what we're really saying is daydreaming, because when someone does come into your room and makes you, gives you the job right now of doing your laundry, in your mind, your very first instinct is to, in your mind, see yourself putting the fresh new laundry back into your drawers, because that's who you are. You're a daydreamer. All of you are daydreaming. But the thing about daydreaming is that you're not, because when daydreaming goes wrong, or the risk that you run with daydreaming is that you think that when you're daydreaming, you're creating an image that's not real. What we're saying is when you're daydreaming, you're putting yourself in a receptive mode. And as you put yourself into the receiving mode of your vortex, you actually see images. So isn't that interesting? Because what we're really talking about here, when we're talking about daydreaming, we're really talking about your ability to focus and enjoy something that's beyond your what is, something that's beyond your physical reality. And that's what daydreaming is all about, because your daydreaming is a place of non-resistance. When you daydream, it's non-resistant. But the thing that the reason why your daydream doesn't work is because of that, because when you're daydreaming, you run the risk of yes, you could believe the image more, but also your real beliefs, how you feel about that image, come up, so the resistance bubbles up to the forefront. And when you're in that image, right, you're in that place of non-resistance, and then you go back into that place of resistance, because hey, you actually, how you really feel pops up, and then do you know what happens? Your vibration plummets, and it hurts, and then you don't do it again. That's the thing about daydreaming. It's because when you're not really good at keeping up to speed with your desires, then it hurts. But when you're kids, you're very good at keeping up with your desires, because what makes kids really they're true masters at the high flying frequency is that they care about how they feel. They're very selfish. When you try to scold them, they act like they don't know what you're saying. They don't look you in the eye. They say things like, I forgot. Like, I don't really, they evade everything, because they don't practice that out of the vortex stuff. They go right into their daydream. And that's what we're saying. You have to create the image in your mind, and that has to be enough. The emotional manifestation, which is countlessly spoken of as this feeling that you can have right now. The emotional manifestation is what you can have right now. And as you feel good about your manifestation, your physical one, and as you feel good about it, then you have achieved the emotional manifestation. And in achieving the emotional manifestation, someone would say, well, where's my physical manifestation? Or what's the benefit of me achieving the emotional manifestation? It could be just me feeling better as a result of me thinking about my desire. Then you make this moment one of benefit. You enjoy this moment. You feel better in this moment. And that's what we're really talking about here. We're talking about your desires already exist. You don't have to do anything for them. That's the thing that's so interesting, is that since you're so used to action, since you understand that if I want to move this chair from point A to point B, I have to push it, but in a vibrational way. It's not exactly like that, because you're not the engine. You're not law of attraction. So what we're really saying is daydream. Enjoy the daydream. And yes, we're not telling you to completely just get rid of your physical reality. We're telling you that you have a lot of time in your day to daydream. So daydream. But the thing about your daydreaming is that you're going to run the risk of calling it a fake reality, but it's not a fake reality. It's a reality that you're creating in your mind. It's a reality that you have already created, and now you're seeing in the form of images. Almost this premonition sort of a thing, but it's not a premonition. It's a daydream. It's not even a promise. It's something, it's already a reality. It's already, because these are desires that you put into the vortex. They're living and they're breathing and they're vibrating. They all have a vibrational, they're all vibrating out there, because that's how these thoughts work. And as they're vibrating out there, they're right there. You have to tune to it. You have to tune to your creations. So it's never that you're doing something wrong. Is that you need to practice being able to see your desire, being able to perceive it, being able to translate it, being able to recognize it. And how do you get better at seeing your desire? You practice your ability to do so. And what does that really mean? It means that you think about your desire and you feel good, and you allow the feeling good to be enough. Because when the feeling isn't enough, when you're like, okay, like I get it, you're saying all I have to do is feel good about my desire, because this is a formula, right? So all I have to do is feel good about my desire, and then I'll finally be happy once I have it, because that's what I'm like holding off until I finally have it. But we're like, no, we're telling you, give into the emotional manifestation. We're telling you, celebrate when you feel good, celebrate when you have that emotional manifestation, but don't let the emotional manifestation be a promise for physical manifestation. Let the emotional manifestation be what you're looking for right now, meaning that improved state of being, meaning just that I just feel better, I feel so good. Let that be the conversation, because your desires are a done deal. They already exist. So once you start from that premise, then it's like, well, what do I do now? If everything that I want is for certain and the stream is going to take me, then now what we're really talking about is you following your bliss. And maybe you're not really used to that, because the path of least resistance is never one of action. It's always one of, how can I step from where I am right now? How can I feel better? And that's what we're saying. You can always feel better because you can be unconditional in your alignment, because you can care more about how you feel than about being right. You can care more about how you feel than about telling the truth, because telling the truth is usually the path of the most resistance. So you got to get good at this path of least resistance, and you're good at this. That's the thing that's so interesting to all of us, is that you're all really good at this. You're all masters. You all literally focus yourselves into these bodies. You're manifestors. You are the greatest manifestors of all time. To be able to manifest yourself into a physical body is because you had a very, very non-resistant thought, and we're telling you, you can do it right now. But the thing that we're trying to get you to understand is that, and you pretty much already understand this because you resonate with it, is that the physical manifestation isn't the greatest prize of all. It's really not. That's the best way to say it. It's actually the journey along the way. And the physical manifestation is great too, but the journey has to be fun. It has to be fun in understanding, because you know what? You're not trying to create anything. You're not trying to do anything. You have already done everything. You are not the engine. You are not law of attraction. Your job is to just be pretty and enjoy your life, and enjoy the images, and enjoy the daydreaming, and enjoy the reality that you can make and contort in any way in your daydream, and allow your feeling good to just be enough, because you're daydreaming and you're doing all this because of how it feels, not because of the results, not because you understand that when I feel good it comes, but because you just want to feel good, period. The feeling is what you want. Everything that you want is to feel good, and the negative emotion that you feel is never because you don't have the physical manifestation and you're observing that. It's always because you're not actually vibrating with the right side of the stick. You're vibrating with the absence, when your inner being is vibrating with the presence. But the reason why you vibrate with the absence is because you're focusing on it right now. It's hard not to notice what your reality is right now, but we're saying this reality is temporary. That's the only way to understand it, is that this reality is temporary. So don't give it so much of your time. Give more of your time to your daydream. Give more of your time to your imagination, because that's where all the fun really happens. It all happens in your imagination, because in your imagination you can have it in any way. And then as you enjoy it in your imagination, and as you have this emotional manifestation, then the details literally have to start filling in. The details will start to fill in, meaning there'll be an idea here, an idea here, an idea in here, an idea here. So appreciate the manifest, because we know that there's no creation that you're looking for that you don't already have much evidence of. So we're like, talk about that. Talk about the emotional evidence. Talk about even the little bits of physical evidence that you have, because your desires are 100%. The question is, how long will you wait until you finally not only enjoy the process, but see the fully realized thing? And the question is best answered by understanding or restating it. How much longer will it take for you to just feel good even in the absence? Because if you can feel good even in the absence of your desire, meaning you're feeling good with the idea of it, meaning you're feeling good maybe because you're not focusing on it anymore, or maybe you're feeling good because it just feels good to think about it. It's just a fun image in your mind. Then it has to come. It has to come. It just has to come, because if you're really obsessive over a desire, it's usually because it's ready to pop. But the thing is, being ready to pop is not like a time limit. You can have a desire that's ready to pop, but you can live your whole entire life. Just because with just a desire that is so ready to pop, you can feel it, but you never quite get there, because the feeling of it about to pop is not enough. The feeling has to be enough. You have to believe it, and then you will see it.